think, too, of these judges basically saying whatever Trump does in office is okay.
This election is not 2016 or 2020 because that Supreme Court decision just a few months ago basically said to the former president, you will be immune from anything you do in office. Now, this is a guy who has said he'll be a dictator on day one, has said he would weaponize the Department of Justice, take away the independence of the Department of Justice, and put his loyalist in. Somebody who has said literally he would use this word, he uses this word, he would terminate the Constitution of the United States. You know what the Constitution of the United States does? That's the Fourth Amendment against unreasonable search and seizure. That's the Fifth Amendment, which is your right to remain silent. That's the Sixth Amendment, your right to an attorney. And he's going to terminate the Constitution?
Yeah. If he wins, God forbid, would you feel safe in this country?
Howard, I'm doing everything I can to make sure he does not win.
You're going out to see U2 at the Sphere. Was that any good, by the way?
Oh, my God. Have you been to the Sphere?
I'm troubled by it.
Well, let me just say, basically, everyone should go in with a clear head.
Isn't it too much?
But that's why I'm saying that.
Yeah.
Like, definitely go in.
You mean don't be high?
Correct.
Right.
Because it's a lot. Like, there's a lot of visual stimulation.
Yeah.
And then I love you too. It was a surprise for Doug.
And just answer this quickly.
Yeah.
Why do you like Formula One? These guys drive around the cars over and over again in a circle.
It's so good.
You really love that.
We love it. Our whole family does.
It's not a campaign
and
thing.
No, God, no,
Wow.
no. Well, I haven't been able to watch it a lot recently because I am campaigning. Because, also depending on where they're driving, the time of day, you got to wake up.
Who is your favorite driver?
Lewis Hamilton, of course.
What? I don't even know who that is.
He's leaving Mercedes. You don't know? You don't watch Formula One? No.
I mean,
once you start, I think you should see it. You might get hooked.
Was it hard for you to make a love connection with Doug? Because I would think most men would be intimidated by you.
My husband, Doug, is one of the strongest, most self-actualized men I've known.
You loved him right away, or was it a slow build?
I did. Doug. So let me tell you about Doug. Doug grew up in Jersey.
Oh.
He worked for everything he had. We have a picture of him when he was employee of the month at McDonald's.
And you were at McDonald's.
I worked at McDonald's too.
Yeah.
But he worked for everything he had, and he has the best sense of humor. He's really clear. He cares about family. He cares about working hard.
Was he a lawyer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a lawyer. He started his own law firm.
Is that how you met? Because how do you meet him?
So we met on a blind date. My best friend set us up. That's how we met.
Have you ever set anybody up on a blind date? I think it's the most dangerous thing you could do.
It's kind of like roulette, right? It might hit, it may not. And, but look, I think that as people, I'm on the campaign trail, I'm at various things, and people will come up to me. I know you met your husband on a blind date. You got anybody for me?
Well, what he described was he was very nervous around you, left a rambling voicemail.
Yes, he did.
And he was sure that you were never going to see him again, and yet you hooked up. That was it.
I feel very fortunate to have a husband who is he's just secure in his skin. He's not trying to be anything he's not. And, he's an incredible father to the kids. He's an incredible son to my in-laws.
Right.
He's just good people.
Something drives me nuts with Obama's presidency. He had the opportunity to appoint someone to the Supreme Court. Mitch McConnell goes, F you, you're not appointing anyone. How can this be? The president could not appoint a Supreme Court justice. I don't want Donald Trump and his party deciding. I don't want Clarence Thomas deciding.
He hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court to do exactly what they did. Take away the right of an individual to make decisions about their own body. Like, I ask people to take a step back. Let's just think about it this way. Whatever your gender.
Right.
And it's not about abortion. You have basically now a system that says you as an individual do not have the right to make a decision about your own body. The government has the right to make that decision for you. So regardless of how you feel about abortion, think about what that means. The strength of America includes that we have been committed as Americans, as part of our spirit, to the expansion of rights.
Right.
And for the first time, we're seeing a restriction of rights, fundamental rights, including what could be more fundamental than to make decisions about your own body. And that's what has happened. And Howard, to your point, look, this issue is not about trying to convert people, right?
Right.
Because one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree.
Right.
The government shouldn't be telling her what to do with her body. She will talk with her priest, her pastor, her rabbi, her imam, but not the government.